celebrate around the hard work that your special person that you're coming to watch has been doing within band, but also to express my thanks to our musical leaders, Mr. Deemer as well as Mrs. Roberta, as they've been working to prepare the students. If not for the hard work of the students, as well as the dedication around supporting the students and their progress, we wouldn't be able to share this very special evening with you tonight. So looking forward to a great and entertaining music with everybody tonight, and hope you enjoy the show. With that, I will pass it off to Mr. Dean.
All right, thank you, Ms. Tim. Good evening. It's so wonderful to see all of you in here. Isn't this great? So this concert, welcome to the Discovery Middle School Fall Band Concert. Like Mrs. Tim said, my name is Mr. Zemer. I direct the 7th grade bands, and I also do lessons with 8th grade and with 6th grade as well. So glad to see you all here. This concert kind of culminates our first quarter of musical experience, and I kind of want you to think of tonight as like an iceberg. Okay, you're getting to see the top above the water of all of the work and preparation that's underneath of what our students have been working on, and it's quite fascinating. You've heard, in particular, the 7th graders, you heard them as 6th graders playing familiar favorites like Hot Cross Buns and Mary Had a Little Lamb, and you're in for a treat tonight to hear this next step in this wonderful progression of playing the drums. So, all right, very good. So in front of you is the 7th grade Viking Band. We rehearse on odd cycle days during second hour, and we're going to start out with 2 pieces of music. But we wanted to start out with our warm-up. One, to get a little warmed up, but we do a warm-up every day, because if you were here last year for 6th grade, there were 2 bands of about 30 each making music up here. Well, in 7th grade, we put them together, so this band got bigger. When it gets bigger, you got to get 50 7th graders to do the same thing at the same time, which is quite a feat. Okay, and so we're going to do our warm-up for you. There are 7 short little things here, so feel free to applaud at the end when you see my arms go down. Okay, here's our warm-up. So that's our warm-up we do every day, and it just helps get us in tune. Now, you're probably wondering, well, why is percussion not playing on that? They do play on that during class, but we're getting them ready for this first piece. So we're going to introduce our percussion section and the rest of the Viking band by playing a piece called Dimensions by Ralph Ford. Enjoy. So fun little concert opener there. We're gonna shift gears not only in the kind of music we're gonna play, but we're gonna shift to a piece of music that aims to tell a story. So this piece is by Bryant Balmages, and it's called The Broken Marionette. So Halloween has come and gone, but we wanted to play something that was fall and a little spooky. And so we were talking about this broken marionette. We had to figure out what a marionette was. At first, this idea of the string puppet, so I'm thinking Sound of Music, the Family Puppet Show, that kind of thing. We were talking about, well, how do we tell the story of a broken marionette? What does that mean? And one of the things I love about middle school is their imagination. When you tap into it, it's just boundless. And we spent probably 20, 30 minutes of the class period talking and developing a story of what this piece is going to be. Is the broken marionette sad? Was it replaced by a new toy? What's going on? So hopefully we can convey some of that to you. This is the Broken Marionette. So now in front of you, we have our second 7th grade band. This is Cardinal Band. They meet on the same cycle day, 3rd hour. So we have both 7th grade bands back to back. Which is actually really nice to reverse the same kids on the same day. Thankfully, I program different music, so that
I'll play cards on the phone.
So anyway, so a couple things with this iceberg idea is I want to take a second and acknowledge all of you parents out there, because to do what we do takes a lot of support. This concert doesn't just happen out of thin air. Students don't learn how to play instrument with support from you. So very first thing, we want to thank our parents and students. You're going to help me with this, and students over there as well, because your parents, they make sure you have an instrument, they make sure you have reeds and valve oil, they make sure you get to concerts like this, and they make sure you have everything you need to be successful. So students, can you help me thank your parents here with a loud, raucous round of applause. Thank you so much for what you do. It's extra effort, and we're very fortunate here in Alexandria to have a community of parents that supports the arts as well as we do. So thank you so much. I also want to take a moment here to recognize the students, because they have to put up with me every other day, which I like to think is pretty fun, but I know sometimes it's probably challenging, because I get paid to be picky sometimes. Concert week, we're picking on things and we're working on stuff and making things as good as possible. And so I want to thank the students for their wonderful work so far this quarter, and you got to hear some of it, and you're going to hear a whole lot more of it this evening. So can we give them a round of applause? So we're going to go ahead and do the warm-up as well, since these students have been sitting a little bit. So we're going to play that same warm-up. every ensemble has a little bit of a different sound and things like that, so we're going to give these folks a chance to warm up, and then we're going to go, I'm not even going to announce it, we'll go right from our warm-up, we'll let them transition quick, and then we'll go into our first piece, which is called Fortitude. It's a wonderful concert march.
Just like this?
So, I won't speak in between into the next song, we'll just give them a little transition. All right, here we go, here's our warm-up.
What shall I add
All right, this next piece, this next piece is called Mechanical Monsters. It's by a composer named Randall Standridge. Randall Standridge is a unique composer because he was a middle school band director. So the music he writes gets these students with the skills and things that they're working on while giving them something fun to play. He often writes music with the sense of like, okay, middle school me, would I have wanted to play that part? Because sometimes the music is written where trombones are playing the same note all day long until the end of the song, right? So it's fun to have something interesting to listen to. If you're familiar with the Superman comics from the 50s and 60s, that's the Mechanical Monster vibe that's going on. So without spoiling anything, you're going to hear some different sounds, some different instruments and things from the band as well as our percussion section. So this is Randall Standridge's Mechanical Monsters. I wanted to talk a little bit about a unique organization that we have in Alexandria that not many people know about. We have a parent group, a booster organization called the Alexandria Band Boosters. And it's an organization of parents, of students in the band program in various levels. So whether it's middle school or high school. And we're looking for folks, parents who are interested in joining us, things that the band boosters do. They help out with marching band, different things throughout the year, and help just support the band program of various things, working with your directors and such. So if you are one of those band parents that are looking for something to get even more involved in a way that really helps out the students and kind of behind the scenes of what we do, we have some flyers on your way out. We have some band booster flyers that our band booster president Liz made. So if you have any questions about that organization or want to check out a meeting, feel free to send me an email and I'm happy to get that information out to you. But it's a wonderful organization of parents and we're just looking for a few more members. So All right, without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to our 8th grade portion of the concert, directed by Mr. Burtis.
Wonderful. Good evening, everyone. My name is Michelle Robertus, and I teach our 8th grade bands. We've been sitting in the stands. We will do a very brief warm-up, and then I will introduce our first piece. We will also sneak in a yearbook photo at some point this evening, but we're just going to do a short warm-up to start. Our concert band meets during second period, and we have been working on some really awesome sounding tunes so far this quarter. We are going to open up the 8th grade portion of the concert with a fanfare by Mikkel Rogers called the Autumn Fanfare. You'll get to hear the woodwinds trilling, which was a really fun technique we got to work on. And you'll also get to hear some great melodies from our brass and percussion sections. This is Autumn Fanfare. A fascinating historical event that took place in Cook Strait, which is the body of water that separates the North and South Islands of New Zealand. We learned about how that is, traveling by water, traveling on a ship is one of the only ways to get between the islands, and that it is also a very dangerous stretch of water. So this song, called Cook Strait Crossing, is about a ferry boat crossing that took place in 1968, and they hit some of the absolute worst weather that part of the world has ever seen. And through a lot of heroic actions and quick thinking, almost everybody, over 700 people, almost all of them made it through this very rocky crossing of the Cook Strait. So this piece sets a story, sets a mood, sets a movie in your mind, And the percussion section helps us out with that because they have some instruments like the rain stick, the ocean drum, the wind chimes that are going to give you clues to the weather that's happening. And this whole piece is just a big crescendo to a very dramatic ending. We hope that you enjoy the Cook Strait Crossing, composed by Laura Estes.
Mommy.
Thank you so much. Our 8th grade concert band has one final piece that we're going to share with you before our 4th and final band takes the stage. This last piece was also a lot of fun to work on in October, leading up to the Halloween season. This piece is called Ghosts in the Graveyard. And not only is this just a really, really fun song, but it was great for the students to work on some new notes they haven't seen before, notes that we might call chromatic or notes with accidentals like sharps and flats and naturals. This song also has some unique instruments. You will hear a siren whistle, you will hear an old-timey pipe horn, you will hear a vibra slap, and a ratchet as well, I believe. Please enjoy our finale, Ghosts in the Graveyard by Scott Watson.
Just like this. Just
All right, that was our last transition of the evening. Thank you so much for your patience. This is our 8th grade cadet band. They meet third period on even cycle days. And now that they are all warmed up and ready to go, we are going to play our opening piece for you. This is also a fanfare, which is a piece that's majestic and forceful and energetic. Ours is called Celestial Fanfare. So you might have visions of the stars and the skies and the heavens as you hear this. Please enjoy Celestial Fanfare by Robert W. Smith. Either Spanish dance or dance from Spain. You will hear some instruments that will clue you into the genre of music, like castanets and maracas. This is called Danza de España by Carol Burnett Chambers. recognizing our family and friends as well as our students tonight. There are a few more people that I need to recognize as well. First of all, I'd like to thank our administration here at Discovery Middle School and Alexandria Public Schools. I saw Mrs. Kim is here with us this evening. She gave a great welcome and she's been sitting with our students. So a big thank you to Mrs. Kim and our admin team here. I'd also like to thank the custodians of our building. It is amazing to see how quickly and efficiently and wonderfully they can get our gymnasium set up into this performance space. So a huge thank you to our custodial staff for all they do every day, and especially the extra work they do for our students on nights like this. And finally, I would like to thank my colleagues in the music department. Mr. Zieber and I work together every day, so we're thanking each other. Good. High five across the room. I also want to thank Mr. Dylan Tischer, Mrs. Lisa Blevins, our orchestra and choir teachers here at Discovery Middle School, and Mr. Nick Mason, our high school band director. They are all here helping make this night run smoothly as well. Now, before our final piece, my last announcement, I promise, is that at the conclusion of the concert, we're going to have almost 200 students who are going to be trying to get out those doors that you came in to get back to the music area. So to help with traffic flow, we would please ask that all of our audience members instead go behind the red curtain and head out through those doors. Otherwise, we are going to have a massive congestion. So audience members, if you could please exit that way and meet your student in the foyer. They will head to the music wing, and then they will meet you when they are ready. Okay? Our grand finale for you tonight is called 2:30 by Randall Standridge. This is a rock tune. It's got a funky key signature. It's got a funky groove. It's been a lot of fun. We hope you enjoyed this whole performance, and we'll end with 2:30.